Welcome back, listeners, and welcome to the Starting Grid, where we discuss Formula One race news, events, and the race weekend. I'm your host, Malik DeRojaye, and with me, as always, I've got Calvin Berberich.
What's up? Welcome back.
Yeah, so giving you another episode this week. This time we're going over the Spanish Grand Prix preview for the race next weekend. I'm pretty excited for the race. How about you?
I am looking forward to it. I'm ready to get back into some racing, or seeing some racing.
Yeah, it's having a week break is always a little tough, you know?
Yeah, the off weeks get a little boring on the weekends.
Exactly. We got to start feeling that with some track time of our own at the go-kart or something like that.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. I know we were doing some laps on the simulator on the F1 game, but we need to get our actual hands dirty and get on the track.
We got to get out to Sonoma. Have you been there?
I've been there once.
Checked out that karting track?
I did it one time. It was difficult. It was right when the fires were happening.
Okay.
So the track was all ashy and stuff, and it was slippery, and I spun out on the like pit lane, just getting onto the track.
Okay.
The cart spun out because I was trying to warm up the tires. I was literally going 2 miles an hour, and I was just going left and right, and the whole car just 360'd on me. I was like, or 180 on me. I was like, okay, this is going to be an interesting.
Yeah. Was it a difficult day?
Huh? Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. My buddy though, Marcus, he's solid on it, but he does racing. He kind of is doing some racing events. He has his own cart and stuff.
Okay.
So he was solid. He about lapped me. If we had a longer time on the track, he would have lapped me because I just was not used to that slipperiness, and I'm not used to those carts anyway. So
yeah, we got to go check it out.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we jump into some news over the past week? Red Bull is bringing some upgrades. So your team, your boys,
finally Honda,
the Bulls of Red.
Yeah. Hopefully,
it's not Honda though. It's going to be Red Bull. So not any engine upgrades.
Well, Honda said that they're going to bring a little upgraded engine package. Help with reliability and performance.
Oh, they did that already. I think they did that for Azerbaijan.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they talked about that. I remember seeing that.
I thought they didn't bring anything for the last race.
You might be right. They probably they might have done it right after the race.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing that they were doing some minor reliability.
Okay. Yeah,
stuff,
from
right?
what I'm seeing here, it's all going to be reliability stuff, which is going to allow them to continue to run the engines a little bit higher than I guess they would like. I guess the plan for the season was to run them a little bit higher so they could stay competitive with Mercedes and Ferrari. And then with those reliability issues, it's just going to allow them to go longer. And I guess Red Bull is planning on using more than 3 engines this season, so they're going to take a penalty at some point, but they were kind of expecting that just to stay competitive.
Okay. Yeah, they're not necessarily bringing the fight to Mercedes and Ferrari just yet. I wouldn't even say that they're keeping them honest. I mean, they're there to pick up if anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like. I mean, I don't remember Red Bull actually fighting anyone.
No, they did have good race pace though.
Yeah.
I mean, if there were any mistakes,
they're going to be right there.
Yeah,
they're going to be right there. But yeah, hopefully we can see them get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I'd like to see them start competing a little bit with the big two.
Obviously, with the new engine supplier and everything, it's going to take some time to get it to where it needs to be.
I'm sure at the end of the season they'll be close, and then rule changes are going to completely change for next year. So
possibly, yeah.
So be starting all over. Well, I guess everyone will be starting over again next year.
Yeah, true. But they are bringing some subtle upgrades to the body. What's his name? Christian Horner was saying that they're doing some front and rear wing stuff, just small, subtle things that most people might not notice.
Yeah.
But what he described it as is really like a small steps to a greater drive. So not anything major. I think he was quoted saying it's evolutionary versus revolutionary.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Making some small steps, which is cool. We'll see how it all culminates towards the end of the year. See if they're fighting for, second place in the championship or something like that. Possibly if Ferrari falling off.
Yeah, if it continues the way it's going, it's going to be Ferrari, Red Bull fighting for second.
Right.
They're going to run away with it. Mercedes.
Yeah, it looks Looks like it so far. But what else? We got Mercedes talking about the Hamilton Bottas fighting that was almost going to happen at the start of the Baku race, right?
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
they were neck and neck, and I think they had some flashbacks to the Rosberg Hamilton era,
Okay.
and they basically came out and said, Toto Wolff came out and was like, "No, we're not going to allow it to get to that. You know, we'll keep. They'll make sure they're going to do their best to make sure that they give their drivers everything they need to be happy and not have to resort to fighting." I don't know how. I don't know how, but
Sounds like everything but fighting. As soon as it gets up until that point, then it's like, okay, maybe if you qualify quicker than the other guy,
yeah,
then you're gonna get a little bit more preferential treatment, I guess.
yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't really imagine Bottas being like Rosberg and fighting like that, but you never know.
Yeah,
You never know.
if he wants it bad enough.
True. When you want it bad enough, a man will do crazy things. We know Hamilton will fight, like guaranteed. So
Yeah.
I think,
He's gonna stay competitive.
I think it's really up to Bottas and whether or not he will like actually fight hard and push back, cause some wrecks, things like that. Because I think during that time when Hamilton and Rosberg were going at it, they cared about where the team would finish overall. But I think they were also so far ahead. Mercedes was so far ahead of everybody that they knew kind of like regardless of anything that happened, Mercedes was still going to get first place anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe they weren't too concerned about like, oh, if I take Hamilton out right now, if I take us both out and we lose the race, is it really going to jeopardize Mercedes constructor standings? Not so much. But now it would because
see what you're
Ferrari's
saying.
right there.
I mean, yeah, they might end up at a point where they're the only ones racing each other pretty much for anything. So, I mean, it'll be good to see. I'd like to see Bottas finally get a championship.
Yeah, that would be nice. It'd be nice to see it. Somebody else deserves it for sure.
Right.
So,
Hamilton's not going to let that happen, though.
yeah, not easily at least.
Nope.
He's not going to just give it away. All right. The other thing, so the Automobile Club of Italy reached an agreement to extend the Italian GP at Monza for another 5 years,
Oh, sweet.
which is cool because I don't know if you knew this, but there's no other venue has hosted more World Championship Grand Prix than Monza.
Oh, interesting.
For Formula One.
Okay.
So they are at 70.
Even more than like Silverstone?
Apparently, that's what the stats say.
Oh, wow.
They have hosted the most Grand Prix consistently, I guess. So
Very cool.
yeah, I think they said they're at 70 races, which I don't really know because it sounds strange because I know they had their 1,000th race, 1,000th race at China, but
Yeah.
so I don't know. No other circuit has hosted more than 70 races. That sounds weird, but that's what I read. That's the information that's out there.
That's that's good to see. I mean, those Italian Grand Prix are always interesting to watch, especially with all the Ferrari fans
definitely.
coming out. What's the nickname for the Ferrari like fan base?
I forget.
There's a word for it. I'm totally blanking on it though. But it's always good to see those fans come out, show their support for the red.
Yeah, that's definitely They will, especially the Italian GP. It is crazy the amount of red that's there, and they're booing. They actually boo Mercedes and all that because they're intense. I mean, it's Italy, it's Ferrari, so like you expect it, I suppose. But I don't know if Ferrari gets booed at Silverstone.
Yeah,
but I don't know that Mercedes is that ingrained in like English culture as Ferrari is in Italian culture.
Yeah.
Like Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Almost a part of just Italy's history, period.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know if Mercedes holds that same level of status in the United Kingdom that Ferrari holds in Italy.
Definitely. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But.
So, plus they have other ones to root for too in England. It's probably, I mean, Ferrari only has Ferrari, right? There's no other Italian manufacturers to, like, in Formula One?
Not in Formula One, no.
But in the UK, you've got Mercedes, McLaren.
Well, I think those are, so McLaren and Williams, those are
And Williams, McLaren, Mercedes.
Those are English teams. They're like based in England.
Yeah, but it's all from
Yeah.
United Kingdom. They're all founded there.
Well, yeah.
They're all,
Technically, Red Bull's from England as well.
Oh, no, not Austria?
Yeah, well, I mean, their team is based in the UK.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
I'm like 90% positive.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong.
Well, my point is that UK is fan base.
Yeah,
It's divided. They've got multiple teams to choose from
that's true.
to support their heritage.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
If
Whereas
you're in
in Italy,
Italy,
you're Ferrari fan.
Yeah, you're rooting for Ferrari.
Yeah.
I got a quick side note on. I was walking down the street and there was a car parked right on the curb, and it had like a little those clover emblems. I'm like, I've seen that before somewhere. It's a Ferrari. It was an Alfa Romeo SUV, and it had like the little badge, the Ferrari clover that they wear on like the.
Oh yeah.
I think there's one on the side of the car, and there's one on the jumpsuit. I'm like, oh, that's so
What
sweet.
is that for? What is that?
I think it's just a Ferrari
Logo?
It's one of their like 3 logos that they
Interesting.
emblems they put on their cars.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was really cool to see.
Yes. The other thing that came out was some F1 2019 gameplay footage. So, for those of you who don't know, the F1 2019 game usually is released in August of near the end of the year.
Okay.
This time they're releasing it in June, so they've pulled it up so that they can get which is awesome because that means we'll have the 2019 version released while we're watching.
Yeah, that'll be great.
So some gameplay footage came out. Have you seen the gameplay footage?
Not at all.
It looks pretty realistic.
All right, so I'm gonna hit play on this.
So you're looking at that. That's Bahrain right now. That's a Renault, I think, driving around Bahrain.
Oh dang!
And then it should cut to a comparison of 2018 Bahrain gameplay footage versus 2019 gameplay footage.
This looks really.
The lighting, pay attention to that lighting up
Yeah.
top. It looks super realistic. Everything in there is intense.
It looks almost. I mean, it's like 90% realistic.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's going to be. I can't wait to buy that game. It's going to be really good to have all the new drivers and new
dang.
car lineup.
Yeah, the comparison of the two games.
Yeah,
This is unreal.
it's big difference, right?
Oh, yeah.
Over 1 year.
Wow. I can't wait for that game. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be cool. So, yeah, if you haven't seen the footage, just go on YouTube and search F1 2019 gameplay footage, and you'll see something from. I really don't know how to say this YouTube dude's name. This is a free shout out for him, actually. Tia Marduk. He's Australian.
Okay.
And now he lives in the UK. I follow his channel. So if he's got that footage where he compares the F1 2018 to the F1 2019 gameplay footage. So that'll be coming out in about 2 months, just under
sweet.
2 months. So
Yeah, I got to check that out.
be all over it. Speaking of the game,
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about our lap times.
yeah, let's transition right over into reviewing the track for the upcoming race. So it's going to be in Spain.
Definitely.
Catalunya. I'm not great at saying that name. Catalunya, I think.
I think that's pretty close.
Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So this track has 16 turns, 2 DRS zones, two major straights, 2 major DRS zones, and a couple straights, but then it's got a very technical turn 3, very long, kind of got to get it right to set yourself up.
A little bit of an increasing radius there.
Yeah. It gets kind of technical in the middle half.
The middle of the track is really technical. The whole track. You need a lot of downforce on this track.
Yeah, should be. So we'll see what team takes it out today. It was the first Grand Prix was held in 1991. It's a 66 lap track, just over 4.5 kilometers. They race over 300 kilometers during the race, and currently the lap record is 1:18.4 .441 by Daniel Ricciardo in 2018. So, of course,
Ricardo was smoking our lap time.
yeah, definitely. So definitely going to be seeing a new lap time up from that this season, of course.
Yeah, the way the cars have been going, they've been a little bit faster.
Yes, but as we always do before every preview race, except for the preview race that we didn't, the preview episode we didn't do the weekend before last for Baku, we were on the simulator.
Yes.
So how was that?
It was good. This is the first time I have driven this track, so it was very difficult to learn, and it is very technical. I mean, if you don't get your coming in and out of some of these corners right, you're going to be sliding all over the place, especially like turn 10, going into turn 11, and then it's a long looping turn 12. That is a very difficult section.
Yeah, that turn 10 is that hairpin, right? That close to a hairpin. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like over 180 degree turn.
Right.
Yeah. Or not
180, bro.
It's like a 100-degree turn. There you go.
It's pretty tight. Pretty tight left-hander.
Yeah.
So, we set some. Do you remember your lap time?
124.4, something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, terrible.
Dang. I didn't do too bad.
That was with like all the assists on. I keep from sliding all over the place.
I didn't do too much better. I did a couple laps and I got 123.018, I think, something like that.
But see, mine has an asterisk next to it
because of your assists.
Because of the assist, no shifting,
all
automatic.
You'll get there. I think with time, you will learn to manage your braking and throttle inputs and things. I mean, I'm not that great at the game. The game is difficult. I was playing online actually through the week. I was playing online and it's hard. I mean,
I couldn't imagine getting online and actually racing people who actually know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing online either.
Well, that's
spoiler. Yeah. If you did one of the lobbies, you'd be probably fine, especially if you have a lot of the assist on. Actually, I don't know if you can. I'm not sure what the rule set is for online, if you can have all the assists on or not.
Yeah, maybe they keep it the same. If you have assists on, then they shove you in the same lobby.
Possibly, but I think regardless, like, if someone's really good at the game, like the best person without assist will always be faster than the best person with assist.
Yeah.
Like, guaranteed. Yeah. It's just, you're just slower when you allow the computer to manage your brakes because they're very lenient. Mm-hmm. Or they're very conservative when it comes to allowing wheel spin. Whereas if you're driving for real, you can be a little liberal with the wheel spin, with the kind of anti-lock braking a little bit. You can get it right on the limit, whereas the computer is not going to come close.
Yeah, you can get a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And then, back to the track. Turn 13 going into 14, 15. That is a very slow section. And it's like it's 2 90-degree turns, almost 90.
Oh, yeah.
Very short. So it's very slow, and then it leads right into a very long straight. And
it's downhill, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important to get that right.
Yeah, because if you mess that up, and you can go flat out around turn 16 there. So if you mess that up and don't get it right, you're getting past. Especially with that DRS zone, you're getting past easily.
A lot of room for mistakes there. I think I'm going to be watching during the race turn 6. I think there's going to be a lot of action there going into that. It's in sector 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then going into turn 7, I think there's going to be a lot of
possibly some touching going on between the cars.
Yeah, definitely some room for some action there.
Yeah. Dang. That's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how the race goes. Some other things about the track. Actually, I think I told you everything we know about the track. Yeah. I already talked about the first Grand Prix. Right. So, yeah, that's the track that they're going to be racing on. Should be an interesting race. This is also, obviously, the track that they do all of their winter testing on.
Yeah, so everyone's very familiar with this track.
Should be extremely familiar with it and ready for it. Now, Ferrari showed clear dominance in testing.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to hold that over to the race weekend, or?
I don't know. I think this is going to be interesting because, I mean, they were very fast there in testing. Everyone had high hopes for them going into the season. And then, but with their performance, I mean, the last 4 races so far, I mean, who knows? I would hope that they would do very well on this track. But looking at and playing it as well, like the downforce that you need on this track to actually like put in a super fast lap, I think it's going to favor Mercedes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, they've had, so to be honest, let's really evaluate Mercedes' season so far. So we've had 4 races, right? Australia, Bahrain, China, and Baku. Mm-hmm. Now, Australia, I think their issue was something about, I think it was that heat down there, possibly, where
is this Ferrari?
Ferrari, yeah, they didn't want to run their engine at that high level, so they tuned it down a little bit. And we saw Leclerc was fighting Vettel, right? Yeah. Now, Bahrain comes around. Not sure if it's a high altitude track, but it's really windy from what I remember. But what we do know is that Ferrari, Leclerc in particular, dominated.
Yeah, he was running away with that.
I mean, dominated most of the race. And Vettel, I'm trying to think of how Vettel got into a fight with Hamilton. Did he have an issue, or I think Mercedes was just right there, right? Just Vettel wasn't on pace with Leclerc, and I think he just fell back in the Mercedes grip.
Pace, yeah.
So, and then he spun out after getting touched. Always sounds weird.
Classic
getting
touched. Vettel.
But he spun out, and Leclerc seemed to be a clear winner. So Ferrari showed a lot of power. I mean, otherwise that would have been Ferrari's 1-2 if Vettel was on character, I guess. Maybe he was a little off that day. And Leclerc didn't have that engine issue. It was supposed to be a Ferrari 1-2. Australia probably was set to be a Mercedes 1-2. I don't think they could have changed that outcome. And then going to China. Now, what happened with China?
I don't know. I was probably half asleep through that.
That's
one.
right. It was a boring
race. But
yeah, Ferrari just wasn't there, was it?
They just didn't show up at all. It was, I mean, Mercedes. That's the second time.
No, he does that a lot. you guys don't know how much I've had to cut out of Calvin saying McLaren for Mercedes.
McLaren. I mean,
Mercedes.
There we go again. Mercedes ran away with it in China.
That's true. It was kind of a boring race. I don't remember why Ferrari was actually off pace in China. I can't think of the reasoning.
I just don't think they had the speed for that track.
Yeah, and then get to Baku, which happened last weekend, and it was Leclerc was looking to be a dominating factor until he crashed out in Q2.
I think qualifying had a lot to do with their positioning. I think if it didn't end up getting extended that extra hour or so between the two wrecks,
because the strategies would have changed up.
I think the changing track conditions changed up their strategy, and then Leclerc crashing, obviously. Yeah, well,
Leclerc was set on that crash. When he crashed, he was set for a magnificent lap.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to set a pretty high lap time. And considering if you want to agree that he's faster than Vettel, Vettel was not too far behind the Mercedes boys. Mm-hmm. So if Leclerc was ahead of him, then he might have taken pole position there. Yeah. And it would have been a different outcome. And I think during the race, Ferrari just didn't have a very good strategy.
Yeah, so it definitely seems like Leclerc is the faster driver of the two, and Vettel's definitely playing it safe. It almost seems like, but
so I would say then of those 4 races, 2 of those Australia they tuned the engine down, and then in China they just kind of weren't there. Mm-hmm. But the other two were really just engine issues. Yeah. So 50-50 shot. And if they don't have any of the engine issues or the crashes, then they really are going to be winning the race. So if we come to Spain and their luck is in their favor this time, then maybe we'll see them actually prove out their winter testing times, show them in the
I'd like to see it.
Race weekend, yeah.
If Mercedes just rolls away with it the rest of the season, it's not going to be very fun to watch, but
it'd be cool to see Mercedes get another 1-2 to be the only team with 5. Well, they're already the only team with 4 consecutive 1-2 finishes in the first 4 races of the season. They can extend that to 5 1-2s. I mean, it'd be cool to see them get these kind of like records, but at the same time, it'll make the season boring if they just run away with it. It'll just not.
Yeah, it'll be a fight for second place after that.
Especially if you think back to the Hamilton-Rosberg days when Mercedes were running away with the season, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing that made it really interesting is that you saw Rosberg and Hamilton about ready to take each other out every other race, so that made it interesting. But with Bottas and Hamilton, it's not as fiery, so maybe the season will get really boring after this. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to see what happens.
But that's when we just shift to the midfield because we got a lot of changes that happen there with Ricardo.
Everyone's pretty competitive in the midfield. So
trying to see what Lando Norris is going to do, Robin Kubica.
Yeah, what's George Russell? Speaking of Ricardo, what's up with Renault?
Oh man,
like what is their deal? They can't get anything together,
dude. I don't know. Hopefully, it's next season.
Yeah,
because I think this season is they've got to figure it out.
Yeah, a lot of development. Hopefully, the real changes next year play into their hand. That's all I'm saying. I think they can do is hope for that.
Yeah, it's not working out for them. So, what else? So let's talk about the race last year. Actually.
Oh yeah.
So last year,
Grosjean, right off the bat.
I mean, I was going to start with who won the race. But
who won the race? I thought we were going to go through the race and then the winner.
If you want to start with the craziness that happened,
lap one,
lap one, turn 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was turn 1 and going into turn 2.
No. Actually, it was. I think it was. So they made their right, left. I think it was that turn 3, that long sweeping right-hand turn.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah. And he ended up spinning out.
Yeah, Grosjean goes off the track, spins out, comes right back onto the track.
Yeah, but the big mistake he made, and he did it on purpose, so he got a penalty. I remember him getting a penalty last year for this, or a point against his license as well, but he lit up his tires, so he didn't have to do that. When he was going off, he could have just kind of gone off. But it's because he chose to mash on the throttle in order to try to spin around faster.
Yeah.
And when he did that, he let his tires put smoke everywhere. And then, however many drivers behind him, he's probably qualified in the low 10s. So the other 10 drivers behind him end up just driving, full speed into just white smoke, not knowing what's going to happen when they go through it. And 3 drivers end up coming back from that. Grosjean, because he got hit. And then
it was Gasly and Sainz?
Nope, not Sainz. It was Hulkenberg.
Yep,
yeah. They crashed right. I think Grosjean hit Hulkenberg when he spun out and kind of came back across the track. I think he hit Hulkenberg, but Gasly came into the smoke. And when you go into those situations and you can't really stop, you have to kind of pick a line through the smoke, stick to it, and just hope for the best. I mean, you're obviously going to be slowing down, but you can only slow down so much. And he picked a line and went through it, and he almost made it, but
it was just like
probably like 2 feet, 2 feet too soon. He clipped the front of him actually, but he almost
wasn't he backwards.
No, he wasn't. He spun this way and then he came across the track. He was making a right turn. I'm doing some hand motions here, people. He was making a right-hand turn, and he spun out, and then just maybe it was the back. You're right. He did, because he did spin back around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was the back of him. But Gasly just hit him barely.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah.
Poor Grosjean.
He was dealing with some issues last year.
He was.
If you watch the Netflix series, they kind of go through that a little bit.
If you haven't watched the Netflix series,
yeah, definitely check it out.
Watch it right after you finish listening to this podcast. So that was the first lap. Then we also had.
There was a bunch of retirements.
There was. I think there was probably about 5 retirements for that race, actually. Let's see. There was.
Raikkonen went out with
6 retirements.
Engine issue?
Yep. Raikkonen out. And then another Renault was out as well. Nope. It was Van Dorn. So Van Dorn and Raikkonen both had engine issues.
Van Dorn was probably just slow. They just retired the car.
Oh, and Ocon. So Van Dorn, and Raikkonen all had engine issues. And then Grosjean, Gasly, and Hulkenberg were tied up in that crash.
Yeah.
Beginning of the race. So those were the DNFs of the race. Other than that, we had Hamilton taking the win by a pretty good margin, 20 seconds ahead of everyone else.
See, and that's kind of why him and Bottas finished 1-2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another 1-2 from Mercedes.
That's kind of why I think they're gonna probably have a repeat of last year.
Yeah, true.
This race.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. But Hamilton taking the win. And what were you saying last episode about Hamilton not like winning a whole lot? Oh, no, it was the later half of the season.
Yeah.
The later half of the season.
This is like the middle half right after break.
I'll come back to this.
You know, he might have lost 1 or 2 races or not finished first.
I'll come back to this in the second half of the season to continue to prove my point as if I didn't do that the last episode.
I think you proved your point.
We had Hamilton and Bottas taking the 1-2. Followed by Verstappen and then Vettel. So, yeah, Red Bull was taking it to Ferrari that last season, of course. And then Ricciardo behind Vettel, followed by Magnussen, Sainz, Alonso, Perez, Leclerc, Stroll, Hartley, Ericsson, and Sirotkin coming in last place. So, that was the finishing order. Who had the fastest lap last year? Red Bull, Ricciardo had the fastest lap for the track, followed by Ferrari. So actually,
did he do that track record in the race?
Oh yeah. Actually,
or was that qualifying lap record?
Yeah, no, that was
a very fast car on that.
That was in the race, 118.441.
Nice
on the 61st lap, which 61 out of I think 66 laps. So put in that.
Oh yeah, they really went for it there.
That record. After him was Vettel at 119, Hamilton at 119. So I guess Ferrari and Mercedes were kind of on equal pace for fastest laps last year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and as far as qualifying goes, we had Hamilton and Bottas qualifying first and second, Vettel qualifying third, followed by Raikkonen, Verstappen, and Ricciardo for the top 6. And then probably worlds behind them. Well, second behind them, actually. You had Magnussen, Alonso, Sainz, Grosjean, Van Dorn, Gasly, Ocon, Leclerc, Perez, Hulkenberg, Ericsson, Sirotkin, and Stroll.
They were a whole second behind the top 6.
Yeah.
The rest of
for qualifying at 116. Oh, wow. So Ricciardo was 116.8. And so that was the qualifying time. So the lap record for, I guess I didn't know that the lap records on tracks are only during races, not for qualifying.
Yeah.
Because obviously the qualifying time is 116.173, but the lap record is 118.441.
Yeah, I think track record and lap record are different. Yeah.
So, they were. So Ricciardo was 116.8, and then Magnussen was 117.6.
Oh wow!
Really clear gap, 1 second gap, and the top 6 were only separated by. They were all in the 116s, so they were all separated by 0.7 of a second.
Okay.
In the top 6, and then after that, it falls off to a whole second.
And yeah, I kind of feel like it might be a little bit more of the same. I mean, I don't think it'll be a 1 second gap between like the best of the rest.
Yep.
But I definitely feel like it's going to be the top 3 up there again.
I'm curious. I didn't pay attention to that during qualifying for like Baku. So Baku, the top 5 because Gasly just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But top 5 were at 141.9, followed by Raikkonen at 142.4. So only half a second.
Okay. Yeah, so the cars, everyone else is a lot faster than they were last year.
Getting closer. And then if we look at China, the top 5, 131.7. Then the 6th person, because again, Gasly not in it. so sad. And then Ricciardo was qualified 6th at 131.9. So just 0.2 off of
not bad.
The top 5 people, which is, so it is showing a little bit, that the midfield has definitely come closer to those front runners, which is awesome to see, actually.
Yeah, an extra $50 million push you over to that top.
Yeah, extra $50 million and you get
Top six.
You get a half a second closer
Yeah.
to the top 6. Great. Let's get into Formula One.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not. All right. So I think that's that for.
yeah.
I guess I think the race. Yeah, Hamilton won and had that big Grosjean crash, and then we had a bunch of retirements. And I think that was the story of the race, really.
Yeah, it was a fun race to watch.
Yeah. So
I think all we have left is race predictions.
burrito bets.
Yeah,
burrito bet predictions.
Let's do this. I think we're down a race now. We didn't do the first Australia.
We didn't do Australia, and we didn't do Baku.
Baku, yeah.
So, and we're tied 1-1 burritos,
Yep.
and we determined that we're going to like pay out these burritos at the half of the season, right?
Yep, halfway.
Halfway, and
Person
it's
with
just
the most points.
whatever the net is. So if I
Yeah.
owe you 2 burritos over how many you owe me, then I owe you 2 burritos.
Okay.
Yeah, not
All right, we can
not
do
like
that.
yeah.
I mean, do we have to eat these 2 burritos in one sitting?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Are we doing some
It's a challenge.
some 4th of July hot dog eating contest here with burritos?
That would be interesting. I don't know. We'll leave it up to the person buying the burrito if he wants to buy all of them at once and make you eat them or not.
Oh, dang.
It'd be
I don't know if
interesting.
you want me to do that because, I mean, if it's you.
I mean, I don't think either one of us have a better chance at winning than the other.
that's
So,
true.
because
Who really wins at that point? I mean, if you win, you don't really win.
that's true. We'll
right.
see. We'll figure it out.
So
But we know we're going to net the burrito. So if it's like 7-4 at the halfway point,
That's
then
a lot of burritos.
then only 3.
Yeah.
Whoever is winning only owes 3. So let's get into it. I think you're going first this time.
Yeah,
With the predictions. So the first one I'll go over is
Is it best of the rest?
nope, race win.
A race win. Okay.
So who you got for the race win?
I don't know. The way this season has been going, and this hurts me to make this prediction.
Better not say it.
I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Oh, bro.
That one cuts me deep. But I think Mercedes is going to pull away with it again this year.
All right,
This
not
race.
Bozos?
Ooh. Nah, I'm going to stick with Hamilton.
All right.
I could regret that,
All right.
but let's see.
All right. So for me, race
Who
win,
do you got?
I really want to go with Leclerc, and I'm going to go with Leclerc.
Nice.
I'm going to hope he gets it finally because
Hopefully.
Ferrari were showing their strength here during winter testing.
I'd be okay losing this category if Leclerc won.
So hopefully he gets his first W this time around. Did he get his first? He got his first podium, right? Was that Australia? No, because he finished behind. He finished behind Vettel.
I don't remember him up there.
I think he finished. I think it was Bahrain. He was 3rd in Bahrain,
Okay.
but he was like slow.
Oh yeah, that was
It was
yeah.
Bahrain.
Yeah, he finished 3rd after he had the engine trouble and
Right,
then under
right.
the safety car.
All right, best of the rest. Who you got? Any driver that's not in the top 6. I mean, I think we can almost classify Gasly into this, though.
Oh wow.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
That-
No, he's still driving for the big Red Bull.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to take a Haas driver.
Okay. I feel like we've done that before,
I'm going to take
and it didn't work out for you.
This is coming out of left field. This is redemption story stuff right here.
All right.
Grosjean.
Ooh.
He's got something to prove this
right.
time around.
You know you can't change your answer now, and I'm
I
going to
know.
say
I'm probably really going to regret these, but I'm
Haas
stretching.
has not been doing very well at all.
They've been doing a little bit better this season. They've had a couple good races.
Have they?
They've looked good. They've qualified well
I don't know, but
the last couple of races. So
I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz.
okay, see, I would not have seen this coming.
We'll go with
At any
McLaren for
point.
best of the rest.
Like last year, you wouldn't even uttered those words.
Not at all. Not a chance.
But
First DNF,
first DNF. Let's go.
constructor.
Let's keep this rolling. It's gonna be Renault.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Their bad luck is gonna continue.
Dang it. All right. Who do I got for best of the rest? Or no, sorry, not best of the rest. First DNF. I'm gonna go with Haas because I think that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're gonna fail out. Yeah, opposite your best of the rest.
Yeah.
Opposite that, and give you that Haas is going to. But one of them, Grosjean could still be best of the rest, and Magnussen be the first to
Yeah, there you go. We'll take that.
So low key Magnussen, that's what I call him. So that's our predictions. I think that really rounds it up. So the race will be next Sunday. What time will the race be?
Ooh. It's probably going to be an early one. Early in the morning.
Spain, yeah. So this also kicks off the start of the round of European races, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have Spain, Monaco. Oh, no. It's Canada's. I don't understand. I don't know why they said that.
They throw Canada. Canada's like the weird one. They throw that in there. Technically, they're still visiting the Queen
Yeah.
when they go to Canada.
Yeah, I guess so.
A Queen's country.
The race is at 6 a.m., so not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not
Is that
too
6
bad.
a.m.
Our time.
Pacific time?
Yeah, it's always their races always start at 3 o'clock.
All right.
3:10 to
3 in the morning, that would suck.
3:10 to 5:10 is when the F1 races always start. For us, it'll be showing on the west coast of California. It'll be showing at 6 a.m., 6:10 in the morning.
Nice.
Qualifying will be 6 a.m. on the day before. Practice 3 will be at 3 a.m., practice 2 at 6 a.m., and practice 1 at 2 a.m. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's it. So anything else from you, Calvin?
I think that's going to do it.
All right. As always, like and subscribe to our podcast, please, if you will. And look us up on Instagram. We've got our social media page up. Send us some comments or questions, or just tell us how we're doing. And then reach out. If you want to reach out via email, you can also reach out at startinggridusa@gmail.com. And yeah, that's it. Over and out.
Enjoy the race.